Hello all. Are you someone who happens to work with people in a workplace context? You could be a human resource manager or somebody in a supervisory position, or are you a student in the area of human resource management or MBA, or are you a law student, or are you just an employee who would love to know about his rights and various protections the law of the country offers for him? If that's the case, we might have just the course for you. We, NALSAR University of Law, in association with NPTEL, is launching a very interesting course titled Legal Essentials for Human Resource Management. This course intends to build a very in-depth legal acumen for everyone who would love to know much more about managing human resources in workplace context. We have curated this course in such a manner that every single legislation, every single law you would need to know regarding your employment cycle has been covered end to end. So we start from all the regulations you need to know, from employment contract to social security benefits, safety and health, to even termination. This course covers everything that is relevant in your employment cycle. Course starts by discussing how Constitution becomes a foundation for all the labor laws of the country. We'll also be looking at how labor laws of the country has evolved over the years, starting from pre-British time until the latest labor codes. We will then go into looking into definitions of all these key terms, including what is industry, what is an employer, who is an employee, who is a worker, and what are industrial disputes. Then we will go on to discuss probably one of the most important and debated areas of your employment life cycle, the employment contract. We will look into how to draft it, what are the key points you should be noting while drafting an employment contract, what are the various restrictive positions that you can put in while you are drafting an employment contract. Then we would be discussing about wage. What is wage? What are the various components of wage? How do you calculate wage? What are the various types of wages? We would also look at various relevant provisions from the labor codes as well as existing labor laws while determining wages, payment of wages, and as well as certain other components that you pay with the wages, including provident fund and so on. There are also a lot of workplace social security provisions that the employer has to ensure. They include anything from gratuity, various safety provisions, various compliances that you need to follow when it comes to occupational hazards, various compensations that you have to pay in case of industrial accidents, and a lot of well-being provisions, including Maternity Benefit Act, POSH Act. So we would be discussing all the social security laws as well as a lot of well-being laws which you as a human resource manager or as an employer should be aware of. There are also some of the modern day work forms, for example, gig working, platform work, remote work, which it might appear that there is no much regulations. In fact, modern day labor code, which is very recently implemented, have defined some of these terms. This course would be covering those modern forms of work, as well as we'll discuss some of the modern day issues which never existed like 10 years before. For example, moonlighting, dual work. What is the current position of law when it comes to these modern day work forms? We would be covering in this course while discussing. The most pressing area in labor relations are the disputes. What is a strike? What is a legal strike and what is an illegal strike? What is lockout? what are the various forms as well as avenues that an employee has when he feels he's been wronged. What is trade unions? What are the powers and protections of trade unions? It's very important to know all this in depth when you are an employee, and this course would be covering all this in detail. Another aspect is misconduct. What is misconduct? How do you determine an employee have conducted a misconduct or not? What is charge sheet or a showcase notice that you have to issue before you say that an employee has been wronged? What are domestic inquiries? How to conduct domestic inquiries? How can you terminate an employment? What is the right way to terminate an employment? What are the basic payments as well as full and final settlement that you have to do when you terminate an employee? This course in its final module would be discussing all these aspects. This is the time where employment laws of the country is going through a change, and hence there cannot be a better time to learn this from one of the premier institute of the country. So I request all the law students, HR students, human resource managers, or even if you are just an employee, to subscribe to this course so that you will be in a position to understand various legal procedures and safeguards that are available for each one of you. Thank you so much.